close your eyes for a moment and imagine a place that should be full of laughter, warmth, and innocent memories. A summer camp nestled deep in the woods, surrounded by a peaceful lake. Children's voices echo through the trees, counselors wander the cabins, and the sun sets on long, carefree days. It seems safe, it seems familiar. But what if I told you that beneath the surface of that calm, sparkling lake lies a story soaked in blood, grief, and vengeance? A story so dark that it would come to define horror itself. This is Camp Crystal Lake, and this is the beginning of the legend of Jason Voorhees. Decades ago, a young boy named Jason lived a life marked by tragedy. He was no ordinary child. Bullied, neglected, and ultimately abandoned by those who should have protected him, Jason's life ended in a single, fateful moment. He drowned in the very waters that now reflect the moonlight with eerie serenity. That drowning wasn't just an accident, it was a spark, igniting a chain of events that would consume countless lives, generations of teenagers, and an entire genre of film. Jason's mother, Pamela Voorhees, grief-stricken and broken, became the first agent of vengeance. Her sorrow twisted into fury, and she would stop at nothing to punish those she blamed for her son's death. In the original Friday the 13th, Pamela stalked the camp, wielding a knife with deadly precision. But even as she fell, a shadow lingered. A boy thought lost to the lake, silently waiting, hidden by the mists, growing into a force that no one could stop. Jason returned years later, but not as a child. Silent, imposing, nearly unstoppable, he became a nightmare walking the forest paths of Camp Crystal Lake. No words, no warnings. Only the glint of a machete in the moonlight, the crunch of leaves under enormous feet, and the faint, cold whisper of death approaching. And then, the mask, the hockey mask, a simple piece of protective gear transformed into one of the most recognizable symbols of fear in the world. From the moment Jason donned that mask, he was no longer human. He became a legend. Every appearance of Jason Voorhees was carefully designed to unsettle. He does not speak. He does not negotiate. He does not hesitate. His silence magnifies terror. Every strike is precise, every kill a calculated act of horror, and every movement a testament to a pain that has been simmering for decades. He turns familiar landscapes into death traps. The cabins, once places of safety and laughter, become chambers of terror. The forest, once inviting, becomes a labyrinth of dread. And the lake, the very heart of his origin, reflects back the shadow of a killer who knows no mercy. But beneath the mask lies more than a killer. There is a story of human darkness. Jason's rage is born of grief. His relentless pursuit of vengeance is a reflection of trauma left unresolved. Each victim is not just another casualty. They are part of a narrative that began with loss, shaped by neglect, and fueled by a longing for justice that no living person could provide. This is why Jason Voorhees resonates beyond the screen. He is terrifying not merely for his strength or brutality, but because he embodies the primal fears within us all, the fear of death, the fear of being powerless, and the fear that tragedy left unchecked can consume everything in its path. Over the years, Jason's legend evolved. Films chronicled his survival against impossible odds, his transformation into a near supernatural being, and his enduring presence as a horror icon. Actors like Kane Hodder gave him a terrifying physicality that no other villain could match, solidifying Jason as the ultimate slasher. His machete, his silent march, his unstoppable strength, they became benchmarks against which every other horror villain would be measured. Jason Voorhees' influence stretches far beyond the silver screen. Video games, comic books, merchandise, and countless pop culture references ensure that his shadow is ever present. The hockey mask is recognized worldwide. Even those who have never watched a Friday the 13th film know it, and the terror it represents. Halloween becomes a festival of homage to him. Conventions and fans celebrate the legend, dissecting every kill, every film, every piece of his horrifying mythology. And yet, despite all the blood, all the fear, and all the terror, Jason's story is ultimately a human one. A boy who died too soon, a mother consumed by grief, and a cycle of vengeance that escalated beyond comprehension. He reminds us that some nightmares begin in the real world with very real pain, loss, and injustice. And when tragedy turns into legend, when grief turns into terror, the result is something that transcends time. Jason Voorhees is not just a character. He is a symbol of horror, of vengeance, of tragedy, and of the darkness that can dwell within every human heart. So next time you hear the date, Friday the 13th, remember, it is not just a number on a calendar. It is a warning. It is an echo of a boy who drowned, a mother who killed, and a shadow that never dies. Jason Voorhees is waiting, silent, relentless, and unstoppable. And Camp Crystal Lake remembers.